Marketing has always been crucial for the success of any business, and in the digital age, even more so. Consumers have shifted to the internet to search businesses over traditional media forms, and staying relevant and up to date on the latest trends is challenging, even for the most seasoned marketing professionals. Kim Jackson, founder of Personal Brands Media, strives to bring big agency ideas and technology to small and medium-sized businesses who are often overlooked by the larger agencies who cater to big corporations with multi-million-dollar budgets. In this podcast, she interviews media industry professionals as well as clients who share their journey, inspiring business owners to learn about and do more with their own marketing efforts. Welcome to the Marketing Muse.
Welcome back. This is Kim Jackson from Personal Brands Media, and this is the podcast, The Marketing Muse. Today, I am very excited to talk with Max Miller, who is the editor, chief, owner, plumber, I don't know, what else do you do, at the Cross Timbers Gazette. It is a family-owned newspaper that comes out monthly. It has been... Actually, Max has been the editor since 2006, right? It existed before. It originally, I think, was a 16 to 20 page black and white newspaper, and it's so much more now. We can talk about that. You have a circulation of 51,000 readers. It's a locally based paper in Flower Mound, Texas. It stretches to I-35 West.
All the way out to Robeson Ranch.
all the way out to Robeson Ranch. And also you have an online version that has 100,000 unique visitors and 1 million page views every month.
Thank you.
Welcome.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
You're hired.
It's funny. So Max is not only a friend, a colleague, but he's also a neighbor. I seem to have a lot of neighbors in business. I think my first podcast was also with the neighbor.
You have power neighbors.
I totally have power neighbors. But where I actually first met Max was at the Chamber of Commerce. And here's this guy walking around, and I noticed he always had a paper under his arm. And I thought it was kind of weird. I'm like, God, this guy really likes to read the newspaper. And then I started talking to him, and he hands it to me. He goes, "Oh, you're in marketing? Here, we need to talk." So anyway, Max, thank you for
having me.
Coming
By the way,
today.
this is my security blanket, so I do carry this everywhere I go. It helps me feel nice and secure.
You really
but
do.
You know you know how it is. You're in marketing. It's all about your identity. It's about your image, right? And
Yes.
I want to be known as the paper boy of Southern Denton County.
You are, just so you know.
I've been very blessed, as you said, to own this newspaper for 15 years.
Yeah.
And it's been a real blessing to me and my family. And what I like about it is, Kim, is I live right here, like you said, right here in Lantana, in the center of our circulation area. So everywhere I go, I can be a good influence on the community.
Yes.
I can hear from them. I can be a part of the community. And that's what we all strive to do, I think, as local small businesses.
Absolutely. And kind of the whole goal, I think we basically did this show in my car on the way here. But the goal of this podcast and why I wanted to have you on was to really start to introduce and educate, I think, small to medium-sized business owners, especially local, kind of the art and science of marketing. And we talk about this all the time. I think a lot of small businesses, again, I'm repeating myself from last podcast, but are sold sort of ad hoc strategies. They, budget is always an issue, of course, and they try things sort of onesie-twosie. They don't stick with the strategy long enough. I think they're always taken aback by the cost of advertising and marketing because they really just don't understand how it works and how you can make it work.
Right.
It takes a commitment, it takes a strategy, it takes a budget, and it takes planning. So I really wanted to have you on because I know you have a lot of experience. Again, we were talking about this in the car. And what I wanted to first talk about was sort of as a newspaper editor, talk about sort of the different ways people can advertise, and not necessarily traditional, an advertisement.
Display ad,
but,
yeah.
Display ad. But the different sort of ways they can do that in your paper, because there really are quite a few. When I got your media kit, I was like, wow,
Yeah.
like you have a lot of choices.
We're a
So
Swiss Army knife, I'd like
You
to
are
say, for
a
local
Swiss Army knife.
businesses.
Yeah, so let's talk about it.
Sure. So most of you hopefully are familiar with our paper. If you live in southern Denton County, you get into the mailbox once a month. And, what I like about it is the consistency of this paper because it is 42 years old.
Yeah.
And it's been a part of the community a long time. I bought it in 2006. I had never owned a business before. I'd never published a newspaper before, but LaRue Johnson, I won't say the founder, but one of the founders of this paper, she taught me so much. She was a great mentor. And she taught me about consistency. Consistency is so important in marketing, in anything that you do in life, exercise, you name it. So I took the bull by the horns and I got more involved in the community. And I started to meet local business owners. I learned from them just as much as I hopefully are mentoring these business owners because business owners, no matter what you do, we're all kind of in the people business. We're all trying to build relationships with people and stuff.
It's getting known.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
How do you get known in the community and on the internet and in the world?
Exactly. How do you build that relationship of trust?
Yes.
So anyway, yes, we do have display ads in the paper. But we have a lot of other things too. And what I like about it is that when you're in the Cross Timbers Gazette, it's kind of like you are part of our local credible community here because we bring all this news to you. We bring all these features and stuff like that. Your business can be kind of a part of that tapestry, a part of our family. So, of course, aside from the display ads, we have all different kinds of display ads.
And when you say display ads,
Explain
that.
So display ads would be an ad in the paper. We have all different sizes.
Traditional.
We have little small ones. We have nice big ones. You certainly can take your pick and you can mix and match. You don't have to commit to just a certain ad size. Let's see if we can. So there's some different ad sizes right there. This is our latest issue. And the nice thing is, by the way, is we do all the artwork free for you. So a lot of businesses say, well, I can't build
And that's
an ad.
actually, if you're budget conscious or small business, that's something you can ask for, right?
Exactly.
Do you do the
We're happy
artwork?
to do it. In fact, we
Yeah.
probably do about 75% of the
really?
ads in our paper we actually produce because most small businesses don't have those resources.
Do you have businesses that in the same issue will put in multiple ads, different sizes? I'm curious.
We've had that before because we have 3 sections each month. The paper's gotten a little bigger over the years, which is good. So we have 3 sections, and so sometimes people will say, well, I want to run an ad in a couple different sections, or maybe focus on something different for the different ads that they have to see which one works better.
Yeah.
Also, we have inserts, and you can have any size insert up to 8.5 by 11, so you can have something as big as a sheet of paper, or you can have a cute little postcard.
It falls
we
out on the
run.
ground and then you pick it up.
That's right. It just falls in your lap, and then you pick it up and you put it aside, and you take it with you, put it in your purse or whatnot. So we have inserts. We also
coupons?
we
I
do
forgot
we
to
have
ask
we
you
have
about
we
that.
have a coupon section. It's called the CTG Savings Guide,
Okay.
and we put them all together, so that way, hopefully, people will say, "Hey,
I'm looking for a coupon. I'm going to go to the coupon
here it is right
section.
here. Look at all these great deals."
Yeah.
And they're all local businesses because local lives here. That's our motto. And that's pretty much everybody that advertises in our paper is a local business.
And
you know
the
what I
neat thing
like?
about I'm sorry to interrupt
sorry.
you.
Go ahead.
The neat thing about coupons is tracking. Well, we're going to get to
exactly.
this, but a big thing I think for small businesses to understand is how, what is the return on my marketing investment? And when you place ads in the paper and you have a certain promotion, let's say, and that's why people will say, use this coupon code. Well,
Right.
that's because when you redeem the coupon code, you can trace it directly back to that ad. And so, as a marketing agency, we're all about tracking because we want to make sure that what we're doing is giving you a return on your marketing spend, right?
Exactly.
And that's I love coupons for that reason.
Yeah. But another way to do it, another
Yeah.
way some of our advertisers do it is they say, mention this coupon. Because, a lot of times
yes.
people are busy.
Right.
They don't want to sit there with a pair of scissors while they read the paper. But they want to make sure that you see that deal, mention that deal.
Yes.
And that way, once again, and you know how it is with marketing, it's a cumulative thing.
Yes. Repetition. It's subliminal.
So sometimes you're not going to get a bunch of coupons the first month, maybe not
Right.
even the second month, but as time goes on, those should increase.
Right.
Another thing that gets people's attention, and I'm sure everybody's seen this, on the front page you'll see this sticky note here, and you just peel
Which
it right
at
off.
first, I didn't understand it because it literally covers up what you're trying to read. That then I thought, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
You have to pay attention to it. Spend 10 seconds carefully peeling it off, right? So you don't wreck the type. But it's brilliant because you just spent 10 seconds looking at that sticky note, and they're not inexpensive for that reason, because it actually requires some of your focus, right?
What you can do is, once you take the sticky note off, you put it someplace you might want to remember. And no, seriously, you know what I like about it is when you pull this out of the mailbox, you see the sticky note, right?
Yeah.
Then you set it down, you see the sticky note. Then you go to read the article and you peel the sticky note.
Yeah.
And then if the sticky note has any of interest of you, then you might take it and put it somewhere else.
Yeah,
And then
or even throwing it away. I mean, we talked about this. There's lots of studies that, these inserts that fall out and people pick it up and walk to the garbage can, even that, 5 to 10 seconds, it is brand awareness.
Exactly.
And it's that repetition. You see in Kroger, for example, the grocery store, they have those in the child's seat, a little ad. And again, it's subliminal. You're not necessarily reading it, but if there's a picture, you see it, and then you see a picture here, and then you see a sticky note.
That's right.
And then you get a flyer in the mail,
That's
or
right.
you get an email. It is cumulative.
It is. And by the way, we also have postcards. It's similar to this, but this is an insert. But there's a postcard that we send along with the paper that is mailed separately, but on the same day. So it's outside the newspaper.
Yeah.
It's called a detached address label card, DAL card.
And that's something that the newspaper, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's something we got for two. See?
Yeah.
So we have that. We have the inserts. We have the different size display ads. We have the sticky notes. And, of course, our website.
Which I love.
Please visit our website. If you haven't visited our website, it's awesome.
Yeah.
We update
I love
every
the
day.
website because as a marketing firm, I mean, the website really is your calling card. It's your virtual office. It's where everybody is going to go and meet you at some point.
Right.
And what I love about advertising in a digital version of a periodical is it does help your back-end SEO, search engine optimization. Right? There's material out there in the ethosphere, and then it's an opportunity to click on the website from the paper, and all of those types of links also help in the Google search algorithms.
Yes.
And we talked about this. So I'm advertising, I'm writing a column in your paper.
That's right. You're a contributor.
Advertising. So let's talk about this too, actually.
Yes.
Good segue.
Sure.
There isn't just ads. There are, I think you call them local experts or contributors. Let's talk about this because this is actually my absolute number one favorite form of advertising.
Thank you for reminding me. Yes, that's right. So editorial content. So we have local experts. Each month in our paper, we have a bunch of local experts in here. And these are sponsored articles from local businesses, and it's category exclusive. So if you're a lawyer, a doctor, whatnot, then you get to be the only one in this particular section.
It's wonderful.
And we've had some of these folks in here for years and years and years. And each month they write about 300 words on their profession and how they can give back to the community. And what I like about it is that you read these and, you may not need this person today, but maybe one day you might need them, and then you feel like you know them already. So they have
kind of
credibility.
become a resource, so someone's... Hopefully, I'm a marketing expert, real estate.
You are a marketing expert. You're the marketing muse.
I am the marketing muse. No, but I love those because we talked about this in the car. There's the marketing triangle of know, like, trust.
Yeah.
Know is advertising, discover, find. Like, again, things like this, things that show your personality, social media, going out in the community, joining a chamber of commerce, and then trust is this credibility I think you bring to the table when you're a locally established expert, and you pay for that right to be a regularly contributing expert in the paper.
Right. But you don't pay much. It's very affordable.
The return is very good. I mean, I the first thing that I invested on as in my own company was those types of advertising opportunities.
Yes, because when you're new in the community or have a new business, it's great. You have a clean slate, a blank slate. So how do you say, okay, I want my first impression to be my strong impression. I want people to know who I am and what I can offer the community. And by the way, another thing we do on that note is if you commit to 12 months of advertising, we give you a free spotlight article in our paper.
Which is worth a lot.
Yeah, because we have a professional, we have one of our writers write it, and then we send it to you. You can make any changes you want. Right. We have a professional picture taken.
Did I ask about that for me? We need to talk. We need to talk after.
It just keeps getting better.
Yes.
So what we do is, so you pick an ad size. This is mostly for the print, but you pick an ad size, and then you commit to that. And we give you that because we want to introduce you to the community.
Yeah.
Here's another local business offering a service that you may need. Here's information about this business, and really kind of a human interest type story.
Is the spotlight at the beginning of the commitment?
Yeah, we usually do it. We
So you
usually do it
launch
at the beginning, but sometimes
Yeah.
people say, "Well, can you wait a couple months because we're going to have a grand opening or something
Yeah,
like that?"
right.
But it's a great
And
introduction.
timing is important too.
Because people, here's what I like to reiterate about this paper or talk about this paper a minute. People actually read it.
Yeah.
That's something that, like people go, newspapers, and I said, listen, this one's special. It's free, it goes in all these mailboxes, and it has relevant local information that you need.
And the community focus, I think.
Yeah.
People, I know personally, my sister lives in the community, and people look and they want to see, oh, am I in it? Are my kids in it? Is that an
Right.
event that I went to in it?
Right. They see their friends and neighbors in there.
Yeah.
They see their kids in there. And I think that's what makes it special. They say a local newspaper should be like looking in the mirror. And that's kind of how I envision this paper each
Yeah.
month.
So let's talk about, the choice of, I'm always thinking about, I'm having conversations of, how much money you're going to spend and how expensive. And, I love, especially with small business, you got to go to the local paper. Like, you're not going to go advertise in the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal. I mean, you can, but you have to think about who is your target
Right.
audience. And I do want to talk about this with you because I'd like to talk about which ads do you find are the most effective? I know we talked about this. You talked about you offer graphic design. How important are images
Oh, yes.
in ads?
So over the years, I've learned a lot from my customers and owning this paper. And the number one thing I say is, it's got to be real. It's got to be you, right? If you're an insurance
Yes.
agent or you're a real estate agent or you, whatever, you're a vet, whatever it is, you want you in this picture because who are they going to be dealing with? They're going to be dealing with you and your staff possibly, but in a lot of cases, it's the business owner. That's the face of the company. So I
And
want to
face, not only you, but
Yes.
their face.
Your face.
A
Your
face.
A face.
Yeah.
And so when we have ads that are kind of generic, I'm like, I encourage my advertisers to put theirs we can take the picture, get a family picture in there.
Yeah, especially for local businesses.
Hold the dog,
You're
you know?
such a part. Your persona is the business
Exactly.
and the local
Because
business.
in this area, and probably the same in all areas, people want to do business with people they like, they trust, like you were just saying. So having a family picture with the dog and all that stuff. In fact, I always say if you have a pet, let's put them in
Pets
the
are
picture.
actually
Because people love to
marketing
see.
magic.
They do. They love to see
Yes.
their pets because it
Yes.
shows you're a real person.
It does.
You're providing a service of value to the community and you're somebody accountable that they can trust. You're local.
Mm-hmm.
I do not like ads that have too much text because I think people don't take the time to read them.
Yes, every
And-
ad needs to be, I say, scannable.
It needs to make a connection.
It means make a connection. It needs to be scannable. I mean, bullet points, bold, the key words.
You gotta
I
figure-
mean,
you
no
gotta
one's
be able
going
to
to
figure
sit
it out.
there. Yeah,
Right.
it's not a book. It's an ad.
Yeah,
it's an impression.
If I can't figure out what your ad says in like a second or two,
Yeah.
then I'm probably not going to read it. I need
That's
to
right.
I need to clearly know what you're actually trying to market, trying to sell. You know.
Yes. What would you say is the biggest mistake small businesses make when thinking about advertising or booking ads?
Well, I would say that in a lot of cases, they want to maybe run one ad and see what happens.
Yes.
That's probably one of the biggest things. Or they want to run a big giant ad one time. And I say, no. Run a smaller ad more consistently. Try 6 or 12 months because that repetition is important, of course.
Yeah.
I am a husband, and my example all the time is I have this nice computer monitor I sit at most of the day. My wife will put a sticky note on it, call the plumber or whatever. I see it there. The day goes by, somehow I don't do it. I see it the next day. The day goes by, somehow I don't do it. But I eventually will do it. I just have to see it enough times.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
one of the biggest mistakes is not being consistent, or they want to change up their ad look totally each month.
Yes.
I
So
say-
consistency in the timing, but also the look and feel.
Right, exactly.
Absolutely.
Well, you see a
Yeah.
can of Coke, you can spot it a mile away. You know what that
Yes.
is, right?
Yeah.
So we want to make it so that your business, and I'm sure you do too. This is your job basically,
Right.
is to make when they see that business, they know exactly what that business is
recognizable.
all about.
Yeah. And color, even there's when people get their logos done, there's like a brand kit, a consistent set of colors, a consistent font. Again, the theme is consistency.
Exactly.
It's consistency in regularity of showing the ads, the look and feel of the ads, and also consistency of level of service. I think
that too. That's obviously
if you have a number to call or a chat person or whatever, you better make sure that you are consistently answering that phone in a consistent way.
And it's a friendly voice consistently.
Yes, friendly voice too.
I mean, it's funny how, like they say, the basic blocking and tackling of doing business, it hasn't changed over the years. And that's why, even though I have a newspaper and it's 2021, it's still relevant. The things that we do are still relevant from the things that we did 20, 30 years ago. And I think that people in this fast age of change, always looking for something new. And I'm thinking, hey, there's a lot of good new ideas, but the bottom line is you got to have your basic blocking and tackling. You got to have that consistency. You got to have that customer service, that reputation, and we can help give your business credibility by being in the local paper that has been around forever.
That's a really good point. I'm curious, what suggestions would you have for small businesses on a very tight budget?
So, the nice thing is our ad rates are super fair. So
and let's talk about how ad rates are even, the circulation numbers, for example, and how that can drive, the cost. Talk about that too.
So the nice thing about the Gazette is that our area continues to grow. We mail to everybody. So you get it free in the mail. So as these houses get built, our circulation numbers keep going up. Well, guess what? My ad rates are not really going up. I haven't raised my ad rates in quite a while, and
so that is an advantage.
That's right. The longer you stay with me, the better deal you get.
Yes. And so lock in a long-term contract.
So
that's what I'm trying to do.
It's a smart. It is a good idea. But a lot of businesses, right? So small businesses on a budget. So I like to say we're small business owners' best friend, because we are a small business. We are a mom and pop. I have like one employee and a few freelancers. So, I understand it. I get it. It keeps costs down too. It keeps the cost down. But the thing of it is that I'm price sensitive, and I know my customers are. So I want to make it so that you make this part of your marketing budget and you don't go every month, oh, why'd I do that? I want you to be happy. So we have packages.
You work with people.
Oh, totally.
Well, I know you do.
Because here's what I want. I want, like every other business, I want happy customers that talk about me and say, hey, this is a good place to advertise.
Yes.
And so word of mouth, listen, advertising is great, but word of mouth is the number one thing, right? If you get word of mouth, then you're golden. So for the Gazette, the phone calls I field after this paper comes out from people who want to advertise is amazing.
Yeah.
Because they see all their friends and family in here, and they see these businesses, and they call the businesses up, and they go, yeah, I've been in the Gazette for 20 years. Yeah, it's great. So,
So again, being in a local community paper, if you are a local community business, is a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
Exactly. Thank you.
And I think too, something to think about if you're on a budget and you're working with someone who's coming up with the real marketing strategy is think about longer-term contracts, because that is how you can get the pricing down.
Exactly.
And it kills many birds with one stone, right? We have the consistency. And are you open to, let's just say a client books a smaller ad for whatever, a year, and they're really liking the response they're getting, and maybe they want to up that. I'm assuming you're open to, revisiting the deals and
of course. Of course. It's harder. It costs more to get a new customer than to retain your old customers, right? There's some sort of formula that I've heard about that, and it's true.
Yeah.
So when I bought this paper in 2006, it was small, like you said. Didn't have a big circulation, but what it did have was a small group of very loyal advertisers who were just in there for the long haul.
Yeah.
And I said, wow. So I tried to build on that. And so we have people who've been in here in 10, 20 years. It really amazes me sometimes when I think about our clients and our partners, and I look and see how long that they've been advertising, and I go, wow, because I think they see the value in it. And they see that they're getting a super duper deal. They price other media around town, and they go, wow, how do they charge so much? Why do they charge so much? I said, well, you know what? I would rather have you here forever, and you get this super deal, and in a way think that you're kind of taking advantage of me, in a good way.
I don't think we.
But you know what I'm saying. Well, you know what I'm saying. I want happy customers, because that, at the end of the day, that is going to sustain all of us, and we're going to be a great long-term partner with our local businesses.
And again, I think if anything, that's a piece of advice. A good reason to go with a local paper is you are both invested in your your mutual success.
Right.
I guess,
We plan to be here for a long time, and
Yeah.
we hope that our businesses are here for a long time as well. So
Right,
we're not
because
trying
you
to make
need
a quick,
businesses to have a paper. I mean,
right.
that's how the paper
and,
makes
and
money.
we're not trying to make a quick buck. You know, I obviously love what I do, and so we have no advertising department. That's me basically. We have no salespeople, just me, the owner. So when you get to work with the Gazette, you work with me and Crystal
You are
Adams.
a salesperson, by the way.
Well, you know, it's just
I
know
may
what I
need to
think
hire
it is.
you as a salesperson.
You know what I think it is? I think is when you do something you love, you don't
Yes.
feel like you're doing sales. When you're helping people and you know what you have can add value and help businesses and help your customers, and you're just helping them. And that's what all of our businesses, I think, have to offer. It's just a matter of finding that story. You know, a lot of these local businesses, they start up and they're really good at what they do, but they know nothing about marketing.
Right.
So
And
lot
they're
of
not
times,
necessarily targeting
They're not
who
targeting
their
the-
customers.
right.
So we talked about this too,
Yeah.
actually. It makes me think of something else I wanted to ask you. How can business target ads to specific parts? I know about customers, but in your case, to specific geographically.
Yes.
Is there a way to do that?
There is a way to do
Because
that.
again, cost effective, more targeted. The most effective ads are laser focused on who your target customer is.
So our circulation area, I'll go through it real quick. We mail to all of Flower Mound, Highland Village, Lantana, Argyle, Bartonville, Copper Canyon, Double Oak, Robeson Ranch, Harvest, and Canyon Falls. So you might say, well, hey, my business is on the east side of Flower Mound. I just want to really super target the southeast side of Flower Mound. So because we mail this, what you can do is you can take any size postcard. We can drop it into just those mail routes for
And
those
that keeps the
areas.
cost down too,
Yes,
right?
it does.
'Cause
It does. It
oh,
does.
Okay.
And that way, it's like you can put an ad in the paper, everybody can see it, but somebody may say, well, that's far away from my house. I live over in Robeson Ranch. But
Yeah.
if you have a new business and you're in a certain part of our area, or say you're in Argyle, you want to hit 76226, which is about 14,000 households and businesses.
Right.
You print up 14,000 of these. We'll drop these suckers in to that area.
That's actually
And
great.
it's-
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
thinking of someone actually.
So yeah,
I want to do that with.
So yeah, see, we can do all kinds of stuff.
Okay, that's really interesting. Now, does that go the same for like the stickies and things like that,
Well,
or
the sticky
is it
note,
only the cards?
Sticky note ideally should be on every paper because that is a bigger investment that is a little bit harder to zone. But for the inserts, we can do that. And like I say, for the inserts, Quick Car every month they do this postcard. Now, this postcard is obviously not big, but it's got all these little
Easy
coupons
to
on it.
stuff in your purse.
And right, you just drop it in your purse. So every month they do this for 76226. And this is the Lantana Quick Car, by the way. So they do that. So yes, you can do that. And by the way, you can print out something. Say you've got a couple businesses that want to target the same area. You can say, okay, well, I'm going to put on one side this business, on the other side this business, and then go halvesies.
So you can partner with.
Yeah.
So, for example, a realtor could partner with a mortgage broker.
That's right.
That is another great idea.
Yeah. How about that? I'm selling an ad right now. Who knew?
You are amazing. So I'm curious because we've looked at direct mail companies and doing cards like that. Do you know how the pricing can compare to having an insert, a card in your paper versus just doing a direct mail
Yeah,
from those
EDDM.
companies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually it's about half. Yeah, we're about
Putting it
half.
in the paper is
yeah,
half?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's about
Also
half.
good to
yeah,
know.
because you get to ride along with me. Yeah. So with the printing part, of course, is kind of expensive.
Yeah.
Depending, but you get to you
Is
can
the
decide.
size also a price? So if you have a smaller card versus a larger card,
Same
it's
price
smaller.
for any size.
Oh, it is
yeah,
the same.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now for your printing, of course, that'll be different.
So what do you think the advantage of just, what are the considerations in terms of what size card you should,
Well,
should it be smaller if it's a coupon so you can just leave it in your purse?
yeah, I mean, you don't.
I mean, it's not as big of a picture. I'm curious.
What I like is I kind of like the oversized postcards, kind of like this, because it's not too big, and also it's got a nice, versus a flyer that might not be, might be a little.
Yeah, I like it. It's got a little meat.
It's got a little heft. Yeah, and it looks nice and stuff. And like I say, the cool thing about this is it falls in your lap. You put it down somewhere. It sits on a desk. Maybe it sits on a desk for 1 or 2 months, but eventually they're going to use it. They're going to keep it
2 months
around.
is a long time.
But
That
you
would
never
be
know.
great.
I mean, they and so the nice thing is you don't have to do this every month. You can do for instance, Argyle Auto Care. They run this about maybe 4 times a year. So that way, because they get a lot of mileage out of it. So you have different options with that, and there's so many different things you could do. By the way, you also could put a calendar on here. You could put it back
I
to
was
school.
going to ask you that. Someone actually, my sister told me this would be a good idea. Football is
Football schedule.
king
Exactly.
in Texas.
Yeah.
Football schedule. Great
Yeah.
idea. And that is absolutely something I would put on my refrigerator
Yeah,
or board.
exactly.
Something that, again, tying to
You're-
the community.
you're bringing value.
Supporting the community.
Right.
You're adding value beyond. Yes. Love that idea.
There you go.
Love that idea. Well, I am not surprised you had a million ideas and tips to share with us, and I'm so grateful that you spent your time with me today, and I'm definitely going to talk to you about that feature after this podcast is over.
Well, thank you for having me.
Anyway, yes, thank you for listening, and we hope to see you in our next episode.